The second her perfectly manicured finger pressed send on those doctored emails, I knew she wasn't just twisting the knife, she was carving out my future. Piece by bloody piece. But in that frozen instant, staring at my laptop screen in our dim Seattle apartment, something inside me snapped like a taut wire under too much strain. Not fear. Not anymore. It was the cold burn of betrayal. The kind that simmers in your gut until it boils over into something unstoppable. I'd spent months swallowing her poison, biting my tongue for the sake of peace. But now, I'd make her choke on her own secrets. My name is Mia Reynolds, and I used to think marrying into the Reynolds family was my ticket to stability in this cutthroat world. At 27, I was a budding graphic designer in Seattle's tech boom, juggling freelance gigs for startups while dreaming of my own studio. That's how I met Nathan Reynolds at a networking event where I was hired to create digital invites and promo art. He was the quiet type, an engineer at a green energy firm, more comfortable with blueprints than small talk. But he noticed my sketches during a break, asked genuine questions, and by the end of the night, we were huddled over coffee, debating the ethics of AI and design. It felt real. Unforced. Our love built slowly, like layers of code compiling into something solid. Nathan's mother, Victoria Reynolds, was the storm cloud I never saw coming. She embodied old Pacific Northwest wealth, timber fortunes turned into venture capital, a Stanford degree gathering dust while she managed a portfolio of boutique hotels from Vancouver to San Diego. The first meeting at her Mercer Island estate was a masterclass in veiled contempt. She flipped through my digital portfolio on her iPad, her lips pursing like she'd bitten into a lemon. Graphic design, she drawled, emphasizing it like a dirty word. So modern. Nathan tried to smooth it over, his hand squeezing mine under the table, always the mediator. Inheriting his late father's calm demeanor without a trace of his mother's sharpened edges. Our wedding was intimate. A quiet ceremony in my family's backyard in Tacoma, with string lights, a local indie band, and potluck dishes from friends. Victoria pushed for the yacht club extravaganza, the society column splash, but we held firm. She attended with a frozen smile, sipping mineral water while radiating disapproval like a faulty heater. The early months lulled me into false security. We nested in Nathan's modest condo overlooking Elliott Bay, where I turned the sunroom into my workspace. My gigs multiplied, a branding contract with an eco-friendly apparel line, social media campaigns that went viral. Nathan pulled late nights optimizing wind turbine designs, coming home with that quiet satisfaction of making a difference. Victoria's assaults began as pinpricks. Snide remarks at Sunday brunches about my gig economy lifestyle, questions about when I'd land a stable position with 401(k)s, suggestions I order from the appetizer menu at her upscale reservations because not everyone can afford the entrees. She'd send gift cards for high-end spas, always with notes implying I needed polishing. The turning point came during the family retreat to Whidbey Island. Victoria had booked a sprawling waterfront lodge, touting it as essential for bonding. Nathan was excited. His childhood vacations were rare, marred by his parents' explosive arguments before the divorce. I packed my tablet and stylus, hoping to sketch some genuine family portraits that might crack her armor. Instead, she turned me into her personal pincushion. Critiques of my casual outfits, don't you have anything less eclectic? My vegan smoothie breakfasts, how very trendy, even my designs. Not everything needs to be digitized, dear. Some of us value the tangible, always delivered with that deniable sweetness. Just beyond Nathan's hearing, her eyes glinting with calculated pity. The digital files from that trip became her weapon of choice. Simple captures, family walks on the beach, group dinners, Spontaneous laughs during card games. But Victoria had been observing. Plotting. She zeroed in on a frame where I was sharing design tips with Nathan's cousin, Lucas. Both of us grinning at his toddler's doodles. The composition. The casual arm drape as he pointed to a seagull, it could be spun. Distorted. The ambush hit on a rainy Tuesday. For weeks post-retreat. I'd swung by Victoria's estate to deliver printed mock-ups she'd requested. For her hotel rebranding, Nathan was in Portland for a conference. And I cursed myself for not waiting. She greeted me at the door herself. Unusual without her assistant hovering. Her smile was predatory. Triumphant. Mia. Impeccable timing. Join me in the den. The room screamed inherited power, leather-bound books untouched. A desk worth my yearly freelance haul. Floor-to-ceiling windows framing her pristine grounds. She loomed while I sat, a classic dominance play I'd seen in boardroom shoots. Something for your viewing pleasure, she purred, sliding her tablet across. There it was, the would-be shot. Cropped. Filtered. Angles manipulated to scream intimacy. Quite the artistic flair. Wouldn't you agree? My pulse hammered. But I held steady. That's twisted out of context. Lucas was just, context is whatever sells the story. Sweetheart. Swipe after swipe revealed more edits. Illusions of closeness. Perspectives can imply so much. You of all people should know. With your designs. What the hell do you want? Victoria. The facade cracked, revealing the ice queen beneath. Wipe your drives. Every file from the retreat. From holidays. Cloud backups, all of it. Those are my creations. My memories. Their liabilities. Potential scandals you could peddle to bloggers or leverage when Nathan's inheritance matures. The lunacy hit like a slap. You're delusional. I'd never, or I'll distribute these to Nathan's firm. Your clients. That apparel line you brag about. She flourished a dossier, my social profiles circled in red. Contacts highlighted. How long until your freelance dreams tank when the world sees you as a homewrecker flirting with family? Nathan would laugh this off. Nathan trusts my judgment. Always has. Her whisper slithered like venom. His high school sweetheart? I planted seeds of doubt with a few suggestive snaps. She vanished from his life. Rage clawed up my throat. Hands trembling. This is blackmail. This is safeguarding my bloodline. She turned to the window, surveying her domain. 48 hours to scrub everything and verify. Or I unleash the narrative, concerned mother exposes daughter-in-law's indiscretions. Who gets the benefit of the doubt? Us Reynolds. Or some scrappy designer from the suburbs. You're underestimating me. The only error was Nathan dragging you into our world. As I stormed out, her parting shot landed. Don't whine to Nathan. I've already sown doubts about you and Lucas, your lingering glances, your shared creative chats. Seeds of suspicion? They root deep. I drove home in a haze, nails digging into the steering wheel until they bled. She'd declared war, thinking I'd fold like tissue. But she'd revealed her playbook, her vulnerabilities. That night, I feigned a late client deadline while Nathan slept, diving into reconnaissance. Why the sudden escalation? A clue surfaced from a recent gig, designing invites for a venture capital mixer. In the background of my event photos, Victoria's accountant, Edward Klein, huddled with a stranger over papers. Metadata and zooms revealed headers, Reynolds' trust revisions. Deeper probing uncovered her slip-up. She'd borrowed my laptop at a family barbecue to quick-check stocks when her device glitched, forgot to log out of her cloud. Bingo. Nested folders of financials, deeds, portfolios. A contingencies directory held gold surveillance on kin, partners, staff. Nathan's sister, Emma, snapped leaving AA sessions. Her sobriety a guarded secret. Nathan's dad. Robert. Pre-divorce with a companion. Lucas's file. His tech startup's patent shortcuts that could bankrupt him. Worst, estate safeguards emails with Klein plotting trust clauses needing Victoria's veto on spousal benefits post-marriage. Dated pre-engagement. One fresh missive, Ed. Accelerate. M. Sway grows. N. Floated co-beneficiary. Secure leverage or fabricate. Fabricate. She'd engineered the trap. I documented it all with screen grabs. High-res. Then, a chilling find, a mock press tip to a scandal site. Worries over Nathan Reynolds' wife's cousin entanglement, timed for tomorrow. No real grace period, she'd planned my demolition anyway. My phone pinged, anonymous text. Cease probing or acceleration. V. She was monitoring. Baiting. But it betrayed her fear. I burrowed into her ventures, hotel acquisitions, equity swaps. Buried in 2018 transfers, properties funneled to dummies. Flipped at inflated prices to a firm that folded suspiciously. Funds washed offshore. Evasion. Laundering. Fraud. Morning brought her call. Nathan showering. Unearth anything juicy. Dear. Plenty. You saw what I permitted. Family protection. Creative accounting. Who'd credit a spiteful in-law with pilfered data? Felony territory. You authorized via my device. Evidence. She laughed. Clock's ticking. Erase or evaporate. Post hang up. Her logic nod. Raw leaks would paint me desperate. But designers don't just craft visuals, we weave narratives. I'd spin hers into a noose. The monthly Reynolds Summit loomed Sunday. Victoria presiding over catered spreads and subtle digs. I arrived early, aiding Nathan's Aunt Lydia with setups. Lydia. Ever warm. Eyed my pallor. Rough week. Han. Voices leaked from Victoria's den, Klein's drone. No prenup complicates. But alternatives exist. The edits will break her. She'll settle quietly. Victoria, if resistant. Escalate. Stage proof. Lucas owes me for burying his patent mess. He'll affirm. My veins iced, Lucas. Affable Lucas. Ensnared too. Trust reroute prepped, post-exit. Your oversight until suitable remarriage. The Hargrove heiress aligns. I retreated. Pulse thundering. As relatives trickled in, Emma brittle. Lucas evasive. Robert detached. Nathan gripped my hand. Blind to the currents. Victoria emerged with Klein. Beaming. Mia. Prompt as ever. As Klein departed, I pivoted, stick around. Ed. Family trusts and 18 flips merit discussion. Silence descended. Mia? Nathan queried. I linked my device to her flat screen. Victoria demanded deletions. But let's review first. Innocence flashed. Then my covert audio from the den via a hacked smart speaker, her nanny cam for grandkids. Bidirectional. Halt this, she barked. Why? Transparency reigns. To Emma, curious about your AA pics? Emma blanched. What? To Lucas, or your patent fix? The playback rolled, Mia's ilk folds. Stage infidelity. Lucas concurs. Uproar ensued. Resentments erupting like long-dormant volcanoes. Victoria's command fractured, Klein bolted. That evening, unlikely Confederates assembled in my workspace. Jenna Hale. Ex-client journalist, Theo Grant. Attorney from a past gig. Beyond domestic strife, Jenna scrolled. These flips? Systemic scam. Her dossier? Elite blackmail ring. Theo, extortion's jailbait. But strategy's key, her ties run deep. Floodlight it, I urged. Simultaneous blast. Jenna grinned. I dig it. But beef up proof. Theo, lure self-incrimination. Witnessed. Victoria's annual soiree beckoned, 400 glitterati for her hotel chain milestone. Her arena, I said. I'll feign capitulation, deletions for divorce payout. She'll gloat. Prep span days. Tearful call to Victoria. Nathan and I clashed. I need startup cash. She bit. Scheduling gala meet. Jenna unearthed victims, ruined rivals. Coerced aides. A extorted senator. Theo drafted filings. Nathan cornered me pre-event. Mom gloated about your exit. Pain etched his face. Ryan, I smell her bluff. Count me in. He revealed Robert's dossiers. Emma's fury. Lucas's resolve. We're dismantling her net. The gala pulsed in the Weston ballroom. Elite schmoozing under chandeliers. I entered solo. Armored in my soul couture. Victoria reigned central. Emerald gown aglow. Spotting me. Her grin sliced. Mia. You showed. Whispered. Ed awaits with terms. First. Your gift. I brandished a drive publicly. Files as requested. Transparent swap? Crowd-scented blood. Hushing. She trailed me to the podium. Ensnared. Folks, mic amplified. Victoria's special share. Screen ignited. Her voice boomed. Mia's ilk folds. Stage infidelity. Gasps swelled. Victoria lunged. Lucas barred. Hear it out. And Vic. Docs cascaded. Blackmails. Frauds. Emma joined. Like my AA invasions. Screen shifted to flips. Laundered trails. Victoria shattered. Hacked. Jail for you. Your login. Your laws. Washington consents one party. Cops materialized. Feds blended. Klein, lead detective boomed. Halting him. Implicated in filings. Victoria whirled. Spotting Nathan. Debunk this. He ascended. It's factual. You've puppeteered us eternally. For you. For power. Fraud's utterance ignited flight. Partners bolted. Calls flew. Victoria Reynolds' cuffs clicked. Arrested. Extortion. Fraud. Conspiracy. Her fault. Mascara streaked. That opportunist wrecked us. No, I murmured. Mic catching. Your handiwork. Secret by secret. Doors sealed on her wails. I'll ruin you all. I built this. Fallout avalanche. Empire crumbled overnight. Nathan addressed remnants. Her victims notified. Secrets freed. Exits stampeded. Boards convened. Charities axed her. Family huddled. Emma wept relief. No custody leverage. Lucas, she engineered my woes. Robert, feds circled years, your proof sealed. Lydia confessed decades-old hold. Theo, federal raps decades. Jenna, viral, Klein flips. Hidden cams unearthed in her estate, guest suites wired. Meetings taped. Scandal ballooned, privacy outrage. High society rot. Victims surfaced. Voices unchained. We evaded media via back exits. Condo a sanctuary. Nathan, we endured. My phone lit. Clients expose. Including forged committal papers for me, instability, ploy. She aimed to institutionalize me. Dawn brought frenzy. Victoria bail denied. Assets iced. Emma visited. You liberated us. Lucas, business booms. Robert lunched. She gaslit me into self-doubt. Trials loomed. But her reign ended seizures. Ruins. In my studio. Would-be files glowed. One keeper, Nathan and I. Sunset lit. Authentic joy. Rest? Erased, not defeat. Victory. Nathan embraced, regrets. Only delay. A stranger texted, she torpedoed my firm, your stand inspires. More followed, shattered lives mending. My series. Exposed layers, survivors' portraits. Later claimed. But that eve. Bay lights flickering. Peace settled. Her shadow lifted. We breathed, truly home.